Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful flowered square. You can make as many of these as you like to make a blanket. I'm going to show you how to do this, so you can crochet along if you want. I'll do it slow enough to crochet along. So let's get on with this. So I've got my Caron Simply Soft. This is 170 grams. It's a really nice, soft yarn. It's beautiful for baby blankets and baby clothes. It's so soft and it's really nice. It always crochets up really well. It's 170 grams. It says to use a 5.5 crochet hook. I'm not using a 5.5. I am actually using my trusty old 4.5 crochet hook. That's a 4.5, slightly smaller than what the pack is telling you to use. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a magic circle. I like the magic circle because you can pull the middle in really tight like this, and it pulls it in really nice and tight. When you do a chain, you can do a chain of 4, and then you'll do all your stitches inside a chain of 4. But I'm going to show you how to do this magic circle. Once you get used to it, it's really easy. Make sure that you've got the tail end of your yarn down the front of your hand. Take the other part and bring it around the back of your hand like this and cross it over. So that's the tail end of my yarn, and I've just crossed that one over. Just cross it over like that. Now take your hook, and that's the tail end. Put it under this top part here of the X and just pull that yarn through. Make sure you get right through. Pull it through. Take your hand out and take your working yarn. You might just have to scrunch it all together and just pull it tight. Put your yarn over, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The squeaking you can hear in the background is Muttley. He's not very happy that I'm ignoring him today. So that was your magic circle, and when you pull the tail, it pulls that little circle in like this, and you can work into it. So I've got a chain of 4, and we're going to do in the UK, which is called a double treble. If you're in the USA or another country, this is just a treble crochet. If you're in the UK, it's a double treble. We're going to wrap the yarn twice around the hook, 1 and 2, and we're going to go into our circle. Pull your yarn through, and you've got 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, might be a little fiddly just to begin with. Pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So we've got, that's counted as your first stitch. So we've got one little set of 2. So what we're doing is we're making these little spokes of this wheel. So we've got one set of 2. We need 6. So you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Wrap your yarn twice, 1, 2, and through the space. Pull through, you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we've now got 3 stitches, one set of 2 and a single one. Yarn over twice into the space, and we're going to make another one. Yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over and through 2 loops. So we've got 2 sets now. We've got this set and we've got this set, and we need 6. We need 6 sets, or it's 12 stitches. I'm saying sets because we've got 2 chain in between each little set of 2. So chain 2, 1 and 2. Yarn over twice, into the hoop, pull through, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over and through 2 loops. Do the second one for this set, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops. So we've now got 3 sets, 1, 2 and 3 sets. Chain 2, 1, 2, and we'll do this until we've got 6 sets of double trebles. Remember and do your chain of 2 in between your sets of 2 here. 2, 1 and 2. So we've got 1 set of 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 12 double trebles altogether, but they're in sets of 2 because they're split with a chain of 2. Remember that chain of 2. So now what we're going to do is you're going to pull your little magic circle, pull the tail end of your yarn, pull it in nice and tight, and look how tight that comes in like that. And you're going to slip stitch into the 4th stitch. 1, 2, wait a wee minute, there we go, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to slip stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull through again. And that's you made the inner circle. So we've made this inner circle here. Now we're going to put the petals on around. We're going to slip stitch into this space here. So put your yarn through into that big space. Pull your yarn through. So put your hook through that space, sorry. Pull your yarn through and just slip stitch. So we're now inside this space. We're going to make the petals, these petals, and it's made with a treble crochet. We need 5 treble crochets into each space. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet. In the UK, it's a treble crochet. So yarn over, we're not going to do a chain of 3. Do not do a chain of 3. Put your yarn over and go through the space. Pull your yarn through. Yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops. So that's 1 done. Don't count that. Yarn over and through. That's 2 trebles done, or doubles if you're in the USA. Yarn over and through. That's 3. Yarn over, through. That's 4. And 1 more is 5. Now to make sure the petal goes nice and round, pull your stitches across and you're just going to slip stitch into that same space. So we've slip stitch and that makes it round like this because it keeps it down. Don't chain 3. Into the top of these 2 we're going to put a double crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet. Just pull your yarn through, over and through. So it's a double crochet in the top of these. Slip stitch into the space and 5 treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, pull my yarn out, 4, 5. Now to make it nice and round, pull your stitches back and slip stitch into that same space. 1 slip stitch. Into the top of these 2 stitches you're going to do a double crochet. A single crochet if you're in the USA. 1 double crochet. slip stitch into this space, just slip stitch into that space, and 5 treble crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch into there, slip stitch, just hook through, pull your yarn through and pull it through that stitch, and that makes it nice and round. Into the top of these 2 stitches you're going to do a double crochet, 1 double crochet, or 1 single if you're in the USA. Slip stitch into the next space, just like that, yarn over and 5 treble crochet. Now at the top of these 2 we're just going to push your hook through and do a single crochet, a double crochet. If you're in the USA it's a single crochet, if you're in the UK it's a double crochet stitch, just 1. And that's you got the centre of your little flower done. So just remember, slip stitch into the first space, 5 treble crochet, and then slip stitch into the same space. Put 1 double crochet at the top of these 2 stitches, slip stitch into the next space, 5 treble crochets, slip stitch into the same space, then you've got 1 double crochet at the top of these 2 stitches and slip stitch into the next space and work your way around. Just remember and put your little single or your double crochet at the top of these 2 stitches. What we're going to do now is we're going to chain 6. The chain of 6 is your first treble crochet and your chain of 3. So chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what we're doing now, we're going to put the chains in. We're doing this part, we're putting the chains in that's going to link all the way around the flower. So into the top of this petal, that's your 3rd stitch, 1, 2, 3, you're going to do a double crochet. In the USA, remember, this is a single crochet. 1 double crochet into the top of that petal. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Down into the top, where you put the single crochet, where you put the double crochet at the top of here, we're going to put a treble. So yarn over and treble crochet into that stitch that's there. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put a double crochet into the top of the next petal. 1, 2, 3 into the 3rd stitch, a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and a treble crochet into that double crochet that's down there in between the petals. So we're doing a treble crochet so that we can bring the chain up to the same height as the petals. Try to move away from the sunshine. 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the top of the petal. 1, 2, 3, treble crochet down into the bottom of the petal. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and double crochet into the top of the petal. Chain 1, 2, 3, and treble crochet down into the middle of these 2. all the way around. 1, 2, 3, then double crochet into the top of the petal, chain 1, 2, 3, treble crochet into the middle here of the petal. 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the top of your last petal. Now when we've done the chain of 6, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So the chain of 6 that we did, count 1, 2, 3, we're going to slip stitch into the third stitch in the chain. Pull your yarn through and slip stitch. So now you've got this circle and you've got all these little chain loops on it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our circle into a square like this. I'll stretch that out so you can see what I'm talking about, if I can keep it out, sunshine. Like this. So we're going to work into all these chain spaces and we're going to make corners, sides, corners, side, a corner, a side, a corner. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Slip stitch into your first space. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You should have 12 spaces around your flower. You're going to slip stitch into that first space. Just slip stitch through. Now you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put 2 more treble crochets into this space. 1 and 2. So this is made the first section of the side. So we're here and we've done this. Where's my chain? There we are. So we've done a chain and 3. Now we're going to turn the next space into a corner. So you've got your chain of 3, 2 trebles. Into the next space we're going to make a corner. We're going to do 3 trebles, 3 chain and 3 treble crochet all into the same space. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet that we're doing. Yarn over and into this next space, put 3 treble crochet. 1, 2 and 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into the same space, put another 3 treble crochet. 1, 2 and 3. Now that's made your first corner. You've made your first corner. You've got a little bit of a side and you've got your first corner here. This is your corner. So in this space and this space, we're going to put 3 treble crochets into here and 3 treble crochets into this next space. So yarn over and straight into the space and put 3 treble crochet. 1, 2 and 3. Now if I'm going too fast for you, just down there's a little icon that says settings. If you click on it, you can slow the video down. So over to the next one, we're going to put 3 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3 into there. Straight over. 1, 2 and 3. And your little circle is turning into a square. We're going to do the next corner. This one is your next corner. 3 treble crochet, 3 chain and 3 treble crochet into this space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Another 3 treble crochet into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. So that's our second corner done. So we've got a first corner down here and our second corner up here. Now the next 2 spaces, 3 treble crochet and 3 treble crochets into that one. So straight into the next space, yarn over, into the next space, and put 3 treble crochet. Into the next space, 3 treble crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So now we're on a corner. So in between each corner we've got 2 sets of trebles in our space. The next corner, 3 treble crochet, 3 chain and 3 treble crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 treble crochet into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. That's your third corner done. Looking good. 3 treble crochet into this space and 3 treble crochet into this space. So the 2 gaps for each corner, you're getting 3 trebles in it. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and our last corner. So we're going on to our last corner in this space. 3 treble crochet, 3 chain and 3 treble crochet. That's 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Another 3 treble crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. So that's your last corner done. And this is what it's looking like. Don't worry that it still looks a little round. The time we do the next round, it will straighten out. So your last space is to get 3 treble crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to slip stitch to the top of that first chain of 3 that we did. Put your hook through, pull your yarn through, and through that stitch again. And that's you got your inner square done. Now we've only got one more round to do. We've got one more round. It's all treble crochets, and I'll show you how to do the corners. The corners again are 3 treble crochet, 3 chain and 3 treble crochet. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put a treble crochet into the top of each one of these treble crochets that are here till we get to the corner. So yarn over, and one into the top of that stitch, one into that one, all the way along to the corner, one treble crochet into the top of each stitch to that one. Then what we're going to do, into this corner, we're going to put 3 treble crochets. One, this is 2 and 3. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Another 3 trebles into that corner. 1, 2 and 3. Along to the top, along to here, we're going to put 1 treble crochet into each stitch all the way along to this corner. Just work our way along, and this is going to be the last square of my blanket that I've done. Now we're at the corner, we're going to put 3 treble crochets, 3 chain and 3 treble crochets into the corner. It's 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and put another 3 treble crochets into this corner. 1, 2 and 3. 1 treble crochet into the top of each stitch until you get to that corner. Now we're at this corner, 3 treble crochets, 3 chain and 3 treble crochets into that corner. We'll work our way along to this corner and we'll do our 3 treble crochets, 3 chain, 3 treble crochets, and then work across to here, slip stitch to join it, and that'll be your last round done. So I'm going to do this corner, 1, 2 and 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now a lot of people ask me why I don't do it like this and then do my trebles. For me, I've got arthritis in my hands and my ankle and my joints and most of my joints, and I find just holding it like this works. Sometimes I'll wrap the yarn around my finger like that for tension, but most of the time I just hold it. I can't sit and do all the twisting that other people do of their hook. Someone said you're not doing it correct because you're not twisting your hook. You don't have to twist your hook as long as you get it in. When you've got pain in your joints like I have, where my knuckles are all sort of swelling up, you can see them all sort of swelling up, but it's a lot easier. Just hold it the way it's comfortable for you to hold it. And for me, that is just this. So most of the time, I'm just sort of doing that with my fingers and that just a little bit with this hand. So I'm not doing too much with my hands, and it doesn't hurt the way that you're doing it like this and you're doing it like that. You do it the way it's comfortable. It doesn't matter if the way you crochet doesn't look like the way someone else crochets on the other videos on YouTube. You crochet the way you feel comfortable crocheting. So I'm going to work along to this corner, do my corner and work back to here, and I'll come and show you how to finish it all off. So I've got all the way around to where I started, and I'm going to just slip stitch into the top of my chain of 3 here on this very first chain that we did, going the right way. Slip stitch through. I'm going to snip my yarn off and just pull it through that stitch, and that's you got your square. So I'm going to show you how to do this little petal part of your square. So I've got the square done, and what we need to do is we need to make chain spaces to put these little petals on, and they need to be down here. So what we're going to do is just prise apart those 2 stitches, and you'll see a little piece of yarn going across. Just slip stitch inside there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a chain, and we're going to slip stitch in between each of these little petals. We need to have 6 chains, one going from here to here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So in between these 2 little petals, you can see that little stitch there. Can you see that tiny little stitch? We're going to put a hook under there. Get your yarn and just pull it through that stitch. Take your tail end away around there out of the way. Now what you're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. Just pull that little tail, tighten it up a little bit. That'll get stitched in. What you're going to do now is, so we're going over to the middle of the next 2 stitches, and you can see the little stitch there. Just under there, catch that little stitch. I'm sorry about the bright sunshine. Pull your yarn through, and you're going to do a double crochet. Just pull your yarn through again like that. We're going to chain. It might be easier just to squish this all down like this. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now in between the next 2 stitches, in between those 2 long stitches, pick up that stitch in between them, and we're going to do a double crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet. In the UK, it's a double crochet. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Into the next 2 stitches, pick up that stitch that's in there. You can see it there. And we're going to do a double crochet. Pull your yarn through, yarn over and through. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We're going across to the next one. So we're making these little chain spaces all around. We've got 3 and we've got 1, 2, 3 more to do. So in between your 2 stitches like this, pull through. You've got 2 loops on your hook, and just pull your yarn through. chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and go in between the next 2 stitches to our first chain of 3 that we did. And all we're going to do is go into the same stitch, as that first one, and just pull through, yarn over, and do a double crochet. I've got myself caught up on this little bit. There we go. So what we have is, we should have 6 chains around here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what you're going to do now is, the first chain space, we're going to slip stitch into that first chain space, pull your stitch through. So we're going to be working in these chain spaces that we've got. We've got 6 chain spaces. We're going to make 6 petals. Now yarn over, and we're going to put 7 treble crochets into this chain space. 7 treble crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We're going to slip stitch into that same space just to bring that petal down into a round like that. We're going to go to the next chain space, just slip stitch into that next chain space. So now we're inside this chain space, 7 treble crochets, and then slip stitch into the same space. So 7 treble crochets, don't do any chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and number 7. Slip stitch into the same space to bring your petal down. It's going to hold your petal in shape. Move along to the next chain that we made. Slip stitch into that chain and then put 7 treble crochets, then a slip stitch into the next chain, 7 treble crochets and a slip stitch, then slip stitch into the next one. We're going to do that all the way around our little chains. I think I need to wait until the sun goes away. So I've just got one more treble to put in to this set of 7. Do my slip stitch. And the slip stitch is quite important because that's what makes it go round at the end. Now right on to the bottom of this one, I'm just going to slip stitch to join the round. Take my hook out, snip my yarn off and pull the yarn through, and that's that finished. And that's you got a pretty little flower inside your square, just the same as we have the blue one. That's how you do the little flower on your little granny squares. It's the easiest way to put the flower in the middle, is do the square and then do the chain. The sun is really bright outside. And then do the chain and put your petals in. 7 double crochets, 7 treble crochets, and make sure you do your slip stitch in to make it round like that. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. It really gives me great moral support if you subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon as well and you'll be reminded. YouTube will send you a reminder that I've put on another tutorial. Also, give the video a thumbs up if you like it and leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. Even if it's just to say hello, then that is great. Look how blue that is. That's a blue shade there with the sunlight. These are really pretty. Look at that if you join them together. Don't worry if they look just slightly rounded. It will straighten out once you've got them sewed together. So until the next time, happy crafting and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.